Welcome back to Big Boar Guns. This is Steve. Hey, I'm doing part 3 on the Taurus Tracker. This is the 44 Magnum we looked at in part 1 and 2. Has a 2.5-inch barrel. I really appreciate all the comments I received. I had no more failures at the range with this handgun after following some of those tips. I've shot an additional about 80 rounds through this gun, both high performance rounds and then some lesser performing 44 mags and 44 specials. So on this video, we're just going to focus on two major things. The first being the ballistic information. We'll go over each of these cartridges. You'll actually see the gun firing. You'll be able to look at the chronograph and see what the results were. Then we'll go over some final thoughts. So stay with me for the next few minutes. Again, this is going to be short and sweet. Thank you for watching Big Boar Guns. So the first bullets are the 44 Special. These are 200 grain, rated at 900 feet per second. So we'll look at those and see how they perform first. So right away, you'll notice the ballistics are different than pictured here on the box. And of course, that's going to be the difference because of this 2.5-inch barrel. Now, they were rated at 900 feet per second, and I believe the average was actually 782 feet per second, which is quite a bit less. I mean, that's not a very powerful round. It's 789 feet per second average. You're looking at about 277 foot-pounds of energy. Now, that's pretty low. With a self-defense round, you typically want to get about 350 foot-pounds of energy to make the round effective, and this is considerably less at 277. So I'd say you could use it for self-defense, really close quarters, but it's not one I would really recommend for that. I'd probably look at a different bullet. I do have a 9mm that I use for self-defense, and that delivers about 500 foot-pounds of energy, quite a bit more than this cartridge. All right, so now we're jumping up to this other cartridge. This is the 44 Magnum. 240 grain jacketed hollow point, rated at 1,330 feet per second. So with this round, we've got 1,143 feet per second average. It's dropped almost 200 feet per second, not quite that. From the 2.5-inch barrel. So with this, you're looking at foot-pounds of energy about 698, which is not too bad. The minimum for deer hunting, when you look at a cartridge, is about 600 foot-pounds of energy, and the recoil is not excessive with this particular cartridge. So it works pretty well. It shot well on the gun, and I was real happy with its performance. All right, now we're looking at the third cartridge. This is the Hornady cartridge. It's a 44 Magnum, 200 grain, XTP. It's rated at 1,500 feet per second. This had quite a bit more kick than the other. It got a lot louder and it had a lot more recoil than the previous round and performed much better as well. The average feet per second was 1,290 feet per second through these 3 rounds, and that's delivered about 740 foot-pounds of energy. Also a drop of just a couple hundred feet per second. Not too awful bad out of a 2.5-inch barrel. Lastly, you see here the recoil is higher, and this is the Underwood ammo. You'll see the close-up here. This is a 44 Magnum, 200 grain, jacketed hollow point at 1,650 feet per second rating. The average for this one was 1,391 feet per second. Quite a bit of drop from the 1,650 it's rated at. Of course, shorter barrel, less performance. We're looking at about 861 foot-pounds of energy from this cartridge, so definitely the best performing round. I hope you enjoyed seeing how these 4 cartridges performed on this little 2.5-inch barrel. I was pretty impressed with the results. I thought they did pretty well. The gun continues to be very accurate and a lot of fun to shoot. Also, after shooting 80 rounds, I haven't had any more issues with the cylinder locking up. On the negative side, I do feel that everything's starting to loosen up, maybe a little too much now. There's quite a bit of play in the cylinder. Here's a quick video showing you how much play is in the cylinder. the cylinder continues to loosen up, and I'm a little concerned using higher pressure rounds. So I've come to the conclusion, as many of you said in the comments, this is really a 44 Special that's capable of shooting some 44 Magnum rounds. I wouldn't push it. I wouldn't give it too many higher pressure rounds. I think if you shoot it as a 44 Special, you're going to find out it performs very well, it's consistent, very accurate, and then if you throw in a few occasional 44 Magnums, I think you'll do fine. It's not something I would do consistently. I would not shoot 44 Magnums in this all the time. I just don't think you're going to get a lot of life out of this gun if you consistently fire higher pressured rounds through it. Well, thanks again for watching today. If you'd like or comment below, that would be awesome. That will really help the algorithm, and I'll start getting more views, which helps me out. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.